Fellow Brickhead fans, DJ Bricks here, back for another review. And before we get into today's review, as always, subscribe to the channel if you're not already and ring that bell. Share this video with your friends and smash that like button so my channel can grow and reach more fellow brick fans. But getting into today's set is set number 4066. This is the Chinese New Year Pandas. It has 249 pieces and it retails for $20 here in the US. It features Brickheadz 115, 116, and 117. This particular Brickheadz is part of the seasonal sub-theme of Brickheadz, where it is tied into the Chinese Lunar New Year. But with all the formalities all the way, let's take a closer look at the set and see how it stacks up. We're going to do the thing a little bit unorthodox. We're going to start with the smaller builds and work our way up to the main build of this set. First up, we get the first of the two panda bear babies. You do get a slightly modified version of the display stand, which is removable as always. This one is much like the adult one, just shrunk down, much like the rest of the small Brickheadz, which is really nice. It's a really compact, really interesting build despite it being small. And then he does come with a little green leaf piece to represent a piece of bamboo for him to eat. But that does it for the first baby panda. The second baby panda is built completely differently. It's made meant to be lying down on its back there. So their display base has a Technic pin which connects to the back of the Brickheadz. So I mean, you can stand this thing up if you want to, but on the display stand it's meant to be laying on its side. It pretty much has the exact same construction as the first one. It just varies a little bit down here at the bottom, and it has an accessory of a little stem piece for a piece of bamboo. But that does it for the other baby panda. The main panda bear of the set, it does feature some of those criticisms that most Brickheadz have, which is similar interior and structure for the head there. You do have the brain stock, which is made up of a couple different pieces. If you want to go online and check the instructions for yourself, you can see exactly what pieces are used. Most interesting build techniques here is how they did the tummy and the earpieces here. But you do have the printed eyes once again. But and a little Technic pin here for the tail. But it is effective in representing a panda bear, but again, fairly basic. But that does it for the panda. Taking a look at the main event here, the display stand for the adult panda, you get a nice, it's built exactly identically to other seasonal sets. It's just using a couple different pieces here. On this side of the build, we do got a mandarin orange tree for the season here, as well as a couple of red lanterns represented by a few pieces here, a couple orange studs to represent those orange blossoms for the tree growing here, which is effective. It's simple, but it's effective. And on this side, you get one tall little lantern here using the 2019 pumpkin piece in red. It's not a new color for that piece, but I think that it is a really smart part usage here. I always like seeing it there. It replicates the look of a Chinese lantern perfectly. And just setting the mama bear down on the thing, you can see how it looks. And I will note that there is a slight issue where one of the bricks, when you go to take it off, this 4x4 wants to come up with the rest of the figure, so that is something to watch out for. But that does it for the build of the set. So looking at the extra pieces for this set, you got a fairly basic assortment here of a bunch of plates and whatnot. You get an extra lightsaber hilt as a surprise accessory. You get one of each of the stem pieces here, especially this new one. That's a nice inclusion. And then, as standard with the Brickheadz line, you do get an extra printed piece for the eyes here, but you'll notice mine in this set is in misprint. So that's a bad QC issue there. But that does it for the extra pieces here. Taking a look at the instructions for the Chinese Panda, this is split up into two separate booklets, one for the main panda and then another one for the two babies, which is nice if you want to split this build up with someone else. I will note that on the back of this first instruction they have this alternate cover, which doesn't make any sense to me. But this first booklet has about 49 pages of building for that main panda and base. And you get the parts list at the back of this one. And then the panda one here has 31 pages of building, as well as the generic win there. So that does it for the instruction manuals for the set. Okay, so looking at the box, it's a bigger version of what we're used to for the Brickheadz. You got of course, you've got the Lego Brickheadz logo up there, the set specs on the side there. You got a nice product shot of the set there, as well as the character names and their assigned numbers within the Brickheadz line. You can see all over the packaging here that there are lanterns, just to let you know that it's based off the Chinese New Year's seasonal line. Actual size reference there has the chain that's on the lanterns within the set, and the back of the box here has another image of some of the features of the set, as well as letting you know that you can remove the Brickheadz from the base. But that does it for the box. So going over my final thoughts, I think that all three of these pandas have, I mean, while they are essentially internally and externally, they are relatively the exact same figure, just slightly smaller with the babies. There are enough internal differences within the build of each set that makes it slightly interesting build. And the display base for the main panda, I think it is really nice looking. There is a tedious element to that tree and how many repetitions you have to do for all the branches covered with studs there. So it's slightly repetitive. I do love some of the part usage, especially the pumpkin piece and red there. It's very nice. All in all, looking at what this Brickheadz actually represents, these do look like pandas, which is a plus with me. And it does give me the feeling, just looking at the display base there, of it draws comparisons to Chinese New Year with the red lantern with the mandarin orange tree. It does invoke that feeling, which is really good. Quality wise, one of my Brickhead pieces was misprinted, as you saw with the extra pieces. And it was lucky that it was one of the ones I could use as an extra, because that would have been bad if it was one of the main ones. So that, and my issue with covers of the instructions is like that whole mess up. I don't think that was really good. I do think that for $20, you absolutely do get your money's worth. You get 3 Brickheadz for $20, which is nice steal there. It is good for just regular fan of Lego, just to buy these, just to have as decoration for the particular Chinese New Year season, or it is a good addition to any Brickheadz collector who is trying to collect them all. Definitely worth full price there too. So all in all, I'm going to have to rate this at a 9 out of 10. Do recommend getting it. That does it for this review. Let me know what you think about the set in the comments below, and I will see you in the next review. Until next time, keep building.